Are you always available for her? Paradox. That right there is the most brutal mistake that completely crushes your attraction and your personal power.
Ow!
Strong belief. Successful men know that silence is the most potent weapon in a relationship. I'm telling you, counterintuitive affirmation, the best action you can take is to vanish for a while. I tried the silent man tactic for 7 days. What my girlfriend did next was unbelievable. Today you'll see the result. The quick reward is, learn the self-awareness behind this tactic and how it instantly resets her mindset. Want to know what really happened behind the scenes? Want to know why I tried the silent man tactic for 7 days? Topic 1. The myth of constant availability, key focus. Why being constantly available and communicative crushes the perceived value of a high-value man in a relationship. Listen up, my guy. We live in the age of notifications, and the biggest myth that screws up many a high-value man's relationship is the belief that being a good partner means being always available for texts, calls, and her emotional demands. This constant attitude of readiness actually communicates one simple yet devastating thing, that your time and your life are infinitely less valuable than her neediness. That single-handedly sabotages your perceived value because what's always available invariably loses its price tag. The personal power of a high-value man is built on the scarcity of his most precious resource, his focus. If you're always jumping at the ping of your phone, you are training your partner to see you as a predictable resource, not a prize to be won and kept. It's like investing. A stock that fluctuates and creates interest is always more appealing than a stale one with infinite liquidity. Where is the mystery, the challenge, the very life you lead outside of the relationship? Here's the kicker. A healthy relationship demands that the high-value man maintains a priority mindset where he comes first. Your self-awareness doesn't show you this. You end up living to satisfy her anxiety, which is an unfair burden on any partner. When you're always there, there's no room for her to miss you, or more importantly, for her to reflect on the value of your presence. And that vacuum is precisely what the silent man tactic is designed to fill. Topic 2. The concept of the silent man tactic key focus. The correct definition of the tactic, it's not ghosting or punishment, but action of internal focus and how it connects to personal power. First things first, let's clear the air. High-value man. The silent man tactic isn't ghosting, nor is it a punishment game to make your girlfriend suffer. Quite the opposite. It's a deeply mature action of redirecting focus. It's you saying, without speaking a word, that your personal power and time are finite. And right now, you are prioritizing yourself, investing in your mindset, your work, your self-awareness. It's a strategic pause in excessive communication to reconnect with yourself. This tactic is, essentially, a self-awareness test and a display of personal power. You are communicating that the source of your happiness doesn't depend on her constant validation or attention. As a mentor, I always say, if you aren't filling your own cup, you're expecting the relationship to do it for you, which is an unfair weight on any partner. And it is in this moment of internal focus that your perceived value skyrockets, because you are living an interesting life outside the relationship bubble. This attitude of intentional silence reflects the Stoic principle, focusing on what you can control, your actions, and your focus on, letting the rest just happen. During these 7 days of experiment, you are reaffirming your mindset as a sovereign man, not a side character. And you know what's unbelievable? Her mindset starts to shift when she realizes she's no longer the absolute center of your universe. Topic 3. The first 3 days, the validation crisis key focus. The initial impact of absence and how the feminine mindset reacts to the lack of immediate validation. All right, the first 3 days are the rough patch, my high-value man. Your girlfriend is used to the predictability of your communication, and suddenly you hit the brakes without warning. The initial impact isn't anger. It's a subtle validation crisis. Her mindset, like anyone's, relies on feedback, and your intentional absence, the silence, creates a vacuum. She starts questioning, what's going on? Why isn't he reaching out? Did I do something wrong? This is human nature reacting to the shattering of an established relationship pattern. This is where most men's action fails. They give in to the pressure of her first text. But a high-value man with solid personal power and self-awareness understands that this pressure is proof that the tactic is working. You are forcing a reevaluation. Think of it like a bridge stress test. You reapplying a load the silence to see where the cracks are. God. Her reaction is a direct reflection of how much she relied on your attitude and attention for her own emotional well-being. During this time, her mindset is externally focused on you, trying to restore the comfort pattern. She might try to test your personal power with lukewarm or even slightly provocative messages, but the secret to success lies in your non-reactive attitude. Keep your focus on what made you start the tactic, your goals, your growth, your self-awareness. The relationship only improves when both of you stop begging for attention and start valuing presence. Topic 4. Days 4 to 7. The self-awareness awakening key focus. The turning point where she starts reflecting on the relationship and he deepens his self-awareness. Once you hit days 4 to 7, the dynamic completely flips. My high-value man. Her initial frustration settles and gives way to genuine reflection. This is the turning point. She stops asking what's wrong with him and starts asking what's wrong with me and the relationship. That's the key. Your action of internal focus has forced her self-awareness, as she now has to cope with her own anxiety and lack of control. She starts recognizing your personal power in her own life away from your constant presence, and this is an unbelievable process. And the most crucial part is what you are doing in this second half of the tactic. You aren't just waiting. You're investing heavily in your mindset and your self-awareness. You're reading that life-changing book like The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. To center your mindset or dedicating yourself to a project that raises your value. This attitude of productivity, not passivity, is what gives your silence power, proving that your life is moving at high speed, regardless of her. So the silence isn't empty. It's a space saturated with personal power and purpose. She now realizes you aren't available 24/7, and she starts valuing the quality of your future presence instead of the quantity of your communication. That's the quantum leap in the relationship, proof that your action is reprogramming her mindset to see a true, high-value man. Topic 5. The unbelievable reaction, the proof of value, key focus. The shocking action the girlfriend takes after the silence and why it proves the tactic's effectiveness. And then, my high-value man, the unbelievable happens. By the end of the 7 days, or even a bit earlier, your girlfriend's action isn't anger or retaliation, but an active pursuit of your presence, often accompanied by a level of affection and focus on the relationship you haven't seen in ages. She might reappear with a sincere, planned invitation, or even apologize for some insecurity she was projecting onto you. This unbelievable reaction proves that the silence did the heavy lifting of readjusting her mindset. What happens here is that her personal power, previously focused on controlling you, is now directed toward winning back your attention, but in a more genuine and respectful way. She internalized your value, realizing that your absence, which was your focused attitude, was more unsettling than your constant presence. It's the law of scarcity in action, but applied to the relationship. Absence made her heart realize how valuable you truly are. This new attitude of hers is the confirmation of your self-awareness and your personal power. You didn't have to argue, fight, or beg. No. You just focused on yourself, and the relationship realigned. Remember, the goal isn't to punish, but to restore balance. The high-value man knows that silence is, at times, the most potent communication because it speaks directly to the strength of your mindset and the depth of your life outside the partnership. Topic 6. The sustainable use of the tactic key focus. How to integrate this attitude into your mindset and personal power to solidify a long-term relationship without constantly needing to be silent. Here's the big takeaway. My high-value man, the silent man tactic, isn't something you do once to fix a problem. It's an attitude you integrate permanently into your personal power mindset. From now on, silence isn't a tool, but a philosophy. You are, by nature, a man of focus whose attention is a valuable resource. You become selective in communication, ensuring that every word and every moment together has weight and intention, which strengthens the relationship long-term. To make this sustainable, you need continuous self-awareness. Think about how major business leaders like Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos use their time. They aren't accessible to everyone at every moment. This priority mindset must become yours. In your relationship, this translates into naturally creating spaces for personal focus, whether it's for the gym, For study, how about reading about finance, like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, or for your business? No. This action is the daily proof of your personal power. The high-value man doesn't need to announce he's busy. He's busy with things that make him valuable, and his partner simply perceives it. This is the unbelievable way to keep the flame of attraction burning, because the mystery and purpose in your life ensure the relationship never slips into the predictable low-energy comfort zone. Conclusion, see that? My high-value man? Silence isn't absence. It's pure personal power. The 7-day experiment proved that your attitude of internal focus is the key to resetting the mindset of any relationship. True self-awareness is knowing that you don't need gimmicks, but firm boundaries. Now, tell me, after understanding what happened and why it was unbelievable, are you ready to take the action and focus on yourself, even if it causes temporary discomfort? Will you keep begging for attention, or will you embrace your priority mindset? The transformation starts with this attitude. To keep mastering the relationship game and bulletproofing your personal power, subscribe to the channel right now, hit that notification bell, and ensure you never again become the overly available guy.